All right, we've given it about a day. We've let the glue dry. If we're gonna do this, this is the time to do it. We're gonna make our cut right here and right here. I'm gonna do it from the front so I have kind of a guide and take it, and I'm cutting through this whole piece. Here's the original. I'm cutting through this whole piece so that I can separate out the main gun mount from everything else. We'll go from there. Let's see what happens. Yes, this is bouncy. So this is where I'm at, and what I'm getting hung up on is the main gun mount, which is kind of what I thought would be. So I've cut through everything except, there we go. So there we've got this piece to the side cut out. Now we'll cut this side out. This might be a little bit more delicate because I don't have as nice of a guide as I did on the other one, but what I've done is I've started it right in the groove first, and then I'm working my way in. That'll at least give me the best possible chance of doing this. And by best possible chance, I mean straight. And hopefully without cutting myself into a million parts. All right, that went a little bit easier. There's been a little damage on the bottom there, where apparently it ripped the plastic apart. So what I'm gonna do is that, yeah, that's not gonna do it. I'm probably gonna have to sand this flush and then build that up with a little bit of putty, because it's like that. But anyways, so now I've got these parts separated for the Tamiya kit. So that means that I can glue this. Where's my turret? There it is. So I can take this, I can now glue that on, and this will elevate as well. It'll act like it's supposed to right there. As of this moment, this will work. Now it's got a little bit of an angle in this cut right here. It went off to the side apparently, and that's the problem with this. Now you got to basically dress this correctly so that it's set up right. Now I've got to see if I can put this all together and glue this on proper, get this to elevate and all that, so I'm gonna have to clean that up. And I also need to cut this slot out, because like I told you, if I need to, I can learn, I guess I can learn how to do pictures into videos, but I've got pictures of the vehicle at Camp Ripley, Minnesota. Sorry. And it is a solid slot all the way down. I'm sure anybody who's been a Bradley crewman can probably attest to this as well. I was not. The Bradleys were not in service in service with the units I was with at the time. It was still 113s and other vehicles for me in the National Guard in the 90s. But the important part here is this is cleaned out. So now technically I've got all the parts set up. I could glue this right on. There's just enough of a lip on the edge. I could glue this right here. After this is trimmed up, I could take this piece here and glue that right there after that's trimmed up, and have this in the middle with the machine gun. That should elevate and work and get rid of that problem. That's actually kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress this stuff up real quick. In this case, my file, the only problem I have with this just hand file is you never know if you quite get the angle right. So I don't know if this is actually square. And there are setups for it, but I was not prepared. I didn't expect that this would actually go as well. I'm happy, but something where you can square this up and just get this all cleaned up and mostly good. I'm so excited I bent the tip of my forceps there. I'm actually kind of happy with this. I thought that this would be a much harder fix just cosmetically. And you can do this now. Yeah, I know there's a million nuts and bolts and other problems that can go with this, and that's not the point. The point is that a little work and scraping in the Tamiya kit is now right in the ballpark with everybody else on one of the harder fixes, in my opinion. Now there are there are a few other things. See, now this is endemic to a Bradley. All Bradleys have always had this centerpiece free and clear. So this will fix the problem for a lot of people. Now, the downside of it is I don't know. Sorry. I'm also concentrating on what I'm doing to get this square. And I should get my... So what you want to do to actually make sure it's square is to get a piece of flat sandpaper and then have this up against some sort of metal, so that like a metal block or whatever. One thing that I have used in the past, if I can find my photo etch folder here real quick. Again, I'm not prepared for this test, dag nabbit. Anyways, so I could do this, have some sandpaper down there, find an edge that is square that I want. Like, see this kind of derailed. So I want to put this down here, that's square, and then I would just do this until it leveled that off. Just as an idea. But what I'm going to do is be stubborn. Because being stubborn always works, right? And I'm going to carve that down just to the edge of this plate. Because that's what it is. This is the edge of this plate, at least on this. And then I'm going to sand it. And you get the general idea. It looks pretty right. The edge of this plate is a little chipped. Not too keen on that, but I think that's where it broke, if I remember right. Yeah, that's where this broke. Well, no, actually it's not. That broke down here. So I'm going to have to fix this up, and in fact that might take a piece of plastic card, piece of flat plastic card to do that. I'm gonna look through this. Now I want to keep that there if I can, but I also need to sand out this machine gun, the coaxial gun piece. And I think I can do it with the tip of this file because it doesn't go all the way through. It's flat on one edge and I can get it in there part of the way. I'm not looking to make this perfect. If I really wanted to, what I would do is I would clean this up with a square file of about the right size. And then I'm going to come over on this side and take a look. This is mostly level. Just want to sand that down, and then I look at this way and you can see that this should have been cut about like that. There's a little bit of an edge. I'm just guessing here, but I just want to get this done. Now, just so you all know, at some point in time, I'm going to go through and make 3D printable files for this exact same stuff to put on here. I don't know when, so don't hold your breath. But this at least gives you an idea of what you can do with your own two hands. So that's it. I'll finish cleaning this up and putting it on so you can take a look and see what that looks like. Glad to have shared this with you. Let's see what happens in the next video.